Now, Reyad Sekh Em is all about fives. I've already said it's the 5 elements: earth, fire, water, air, spirit. Slightly different to the Chinese elementals who bring in wood and metal. There's also 5 stages of life. This was how the Cometians viewed life. They believed the 5 stages were Kheper, which is the scarab, Ra, which is the ram, Un, which they don't give an animal to, but I reckon it's an owl myself, Aten and Amun. So they were the 5 stages, if you like, of life. And they believed that also represented 5 stages of the sun through the day, which I'll come back to. So the 5 elements we've mentioned: earth, fire, water, air and spirit. But it's also connected with a 5-pointed star, which is sometimes known as the microcosm. The 5-pointed star is the representation of God in man. And the Egyptians believed that we came from the stars, and they believed that after you died you went back to being a star. And if you look in their art, if you look in the papyruses that have been done by a good artist, not the banana skin ones you buy off the street, you'll always find it drawn this way up. If it's not drawn that way up, it's a very bad painting. Because this represents the legs, this is the arms, and this is the head. Okay? So the 5-pointed star is very much God in man. 5 in numerology means expansion. So it's a system for expanding your consciousness. And I therefore felt that I really needed 5 levels of Reyad Sekh Em to go with everything else. So this is, can you see that? It's a bit dark. But this is another way of representing the 5 stages of life, this time as the 5 stages of the sun during the day. So we've got the goddess Nut, who's always shown arching over the earth. Well, sometimes she's shown with the god of earth down there beneath her, but this is obviously just showing Nut. And we're showing here that she gives birth to the sun in the morning, and that's the first step, remember, Kheper. Then you've got Ra is midday, you've got Un for afternoon sun, and you've got the late afternoon sun at Aten, and then she swallows it again at night at Amun. And during the night the sun goes through her body, which is described as the duat, or in English we would probably say void. Now, you can't see that very well actually, but that's a picture of myself and Gula, and behind us here is the Sphinx, literally just there, and that's an orb. You can't really see it very well, but that's us in Egypt. I'm afraid it loses a lot there in that lighting condition. And that was a picture of one of the ladies who just had some attunements into Reyad Sekh Em on that roof right by the pyramid. So if you had better lighting, you'd see that's full of orbs actually. And that's us doing an attunement in the middle of the desert in a place called Tel Al-Amana, and that is the centre where Akhenaten had his headquarters, if you like. There's a story with that actually. When I was doing one of these attunements, there was a lot of flapping around going on in the distance, and afterwards we found out that while I was doing the attunement, a snake had appeared amongst all the guards, and it was apparently a fiery serpent which can jump 3 metres and kill a camel in 10 seconds. But apparently, in shamanic beliefs, that's really, really quite a big thing for a snake to appear when a healer's working, so it didn't do me any harm in terms of my reputation with the guides. Right, that's me lying in the sarcophagus. Again, probably not something that everybody would want to do, but because I don't believe it was ever used for burial, I believe it was an initiation chamber. I actually think it's an extremely empowering thing to do. And I don't take trips to Egypt all that often, but when we do try and hire the pyramid, which is coming up to £1,000 now for an hour. But it's a really amazing experience. That's us in the 5th dimensional chamber. Have any of you read John Vallot's Flower of Life books? No? 1 or 2 of you have? If you have, you may have read his bit about there's a 4th dimensional tunnel in the lower chambers of the pyramids. Where you go in there, your dreams are supposed to manifest. So they closed it to the public because it also meant people's fears manifested. So if they were very afraid of snakes and things, they wouldn't appear. But it's supposed to be somewhere where you can actually, have some positive thoughts and they would manifest as well. Right, so here's a little expression that Hakim taught me. Yakani, yakani. I am protected by my positivity. And it's a lovely little thing to say if you're feeling at all unempowered. So remember it from this empower yourself perspective. And another translation will be set your mind and banish fear. A little Cometian prayer. The light surrounds me. The light comes through me. I am the light. Yeah, Very simple. And finally, a little summary here of Reyad Sekh Em, was developed by me. It's an ultra-high vibrational Egyptian energy healing system, and it's a unique combination of the elemental healing rays, earth, fire, water, air and spirit in ancient Egyptian philosophies, but it also brings in colour breathing, sound vibration, crystalline and angelic healing energies. Because my sister's an angel author, she's been studying the Aten angels, and they were the angels that were invoked around the Dead Sea 2,000 years ago, around the time of Christ. And they did have a philosophy that you had an angel for every day, and within that they actually felt that there was an angel for every hour of every day as well, but that just seemed a bit complicated for the 21st century. Most of us are working as well, so it's difficult. But the philosophy of invoking those angels on a daily basis, and because her studies led me to know which were the Aten angels for the elements, earth, fire, water, air and spirit, we do work with those as well as part of the system. Now I think I wanted to leave some time for a demo because I think that's the best way to learn. Actually, I'm just going to go back to it now. Oh, well, I'm just going to leave it on the definition, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so would anybody like me to do a little demonstration? That lady was so quick to put her hand up. Would you mind, I mean, obviously you realise that what I say about you is going to be in the public domain now. And are you okay about being filmed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Right. Let's put you here with the spotlight on, I'm afraid. Okay. Have your seat here. So I haven't talked much about the crystals. I've very briefly mentioned the angels, but you'll notice I call them, did I say etheric crystals? Yeah? Were some of you wondering what I meant by that? Do you all work with the word ether? Do you know what the ether is and sort of higher dimensions? And the brilliant thing about etheric crystals is you don't have to buy any. So all you have to do is imagine them. You can have anything you like. You can have a flawless diamond, flawless crystal of any kind. So that's a really lovely way to work with crystallised energy. Not that I don't spend money on crystals as well. I've got a few. But it does give you the freedom, as I say, to work with even the very high vibrational, what would be very expensive energies as well. But sound, I've yet to bring into the picture, so we've got that to come. Okay, so can I just ask your name? You said
Branwyn.
Branwyn, that's
Yes.
an unusual name. Is that Welsh?
Welsh.
Yes. Now the first thing any healer would probably notice about Branwyn is how she's wearing her scarf. Yeah? What does that tell some of you? Well, she's obviously got a throat issue. It could be good, it could be bad. She could be a really good teacher. I mean, they have throat issues. She could be a really good communicator, or she could have difficulty expressing her own opinions. Sometimes people who are very tactful, unlike me, actually find it difficult to say what they really think because they don't want to hurt people's feelings. So they often have issues with their throat. And then on the other end of the scheme, you've got people who just say what they think, sort the consequences, and they can have problems with their throat. So do you actually get sore throats?
No, but I'm heavily into teaching and training.
Okay, so you are a communicator, okay. So her throat chakra is busy. Okay. Now, how I next work is Branwyn.
Yes.
Okay, Branwyn. How I next work with Branwyn is I actually look for the part of her that's common to me, okay? Because I believe we're all made from the same. We're all made from stardust. Actually, it's been proved. So the Egyptians were right. So I'm looking for the part of Branwyn that is also me, the part of me that's also her. So the likelihood is that that would be in her heart, okay? And it'd be my heart as well. So I don't even know I'm doing it, but I kind of send a probe heart to heart, so I connect with you. It doesn't have to be a visual thing. I work a lot with people over internet, emails and all sorts of things, so it doesn't have to be a visual thing. It can be in any country. You don't have to know what they look like, but obviously when you are there, then it's nice to look at you when you're doing it. So I make this connection. It's very instantaneous, and I map her energy field over me. So I then tune into how I feel. How do I feel that I didn't feel 2 or 3 seconds ago before I did it? Okay? So straight away I get her shoulders here. Okay. Now, she may not have physical issues with that, so we'll have to come back. There's always lots of different reasons why you might find things. In the same way, if you were doing a tarot reading, you could pick a tarot card, and its meaning for you might be completely different to its meaning for you. You know, that card could have 50, 60 different definitions, but there'll probably be 1 or 2 that come up a lot.